I don't know of any material sector that's asked for its materials to be banned from landfills, but that's what PPEC asked me to work with them and investigate back in 2012. Was, is this possible? Does it make sense? Who's doing it? Who's banning OCC and OBB from landfills? What other kind of landfill bans are going on? So, like, just what's the trend in this, and what are the factors? What are the key factors that are important here? So, we looked into that, and we also looked at who would support it, who wouldn't support it, and why, and just get a real understanding of trying to push this to try and keep as much of the paper packaging out of landfill, and the results that we got there, and PPEC presented to the Ontario Environment Minister at the time, Jim Bradley.
I was pleased that we were able to get the opportunity to meet with the Honourable Jim Bradley, the Minister of the Environment in Ontario government, and we were able to get an audience led by John, and Irving Granofsky and I attended. And our position that we wanted Mr. Bradley to understand as an industry was that we wanted him to ban corrugated from landfill in Ontario. We wanted to say that to him before they got on their direction of some other potentially hazardous set of criteria. Being able to get that meeting within the confines of the government offices was really an eye-opener about what it means to have a platform of PPEC able to speak for the industry. Later, PPEC decided to make it easier for the province, to ban OCC. Things changed. It was a couple of years later again. It was just a year or so ago, and look at, what would be the strategy? How would you go forward? How would you implement this? And what are the steps that you have to take? So we worked together and tried to identify what that roadmap would be, and who would you approach first, and those kinds of things, and how would the tools work that would make this the most successful. Again, PPEC arranged to set up a meeting with the Ministry of the Environment, and although there hasn't been action yet, I know PPEC remains hopeful. There is new legislation underway, and I know the minister has expressed a desire to move the yardstick forward on what things can be diverted from landfill, and this would certainly be a really good tool. The industry's there, the structure's there, the infrastructure to do it. It's been done before in other provinces, other jurisdictions. In Nova Scotia, PEI have similar bans, and Quebec and Manitoba are talking about it as well. So, this is happening. It's happening in other jurisdictions. We now are looking at changing legislation here in Ontario. It's just a great opportunity, and PPEC is at the forefront.